Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be working with interval notation and inequalities. If you want to follow along, the links to the companion worksheet are in the description below. Also, don't forget to click that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the videos that we have coming out from the channel. Alright, so here we're given an inequality of x is less than or equal to 2, and we want to write it in interval notation. Now for all of this, I'm going to be using a line graph to help us, because more often than not, people, when they see an inequality, they think of a picture. They think of what that line would look like. So let's do that. So let's draw a real number line, and here we have 2 right in the middle. And so the question is now, which side of 2 should we shade? Well, we want less than or equal to. So that means that we're going to shade that side, and we're going to fill in a solid circle on 2. Alright, so now we want to put this in interval notation. So we ask, what is the left-hand side of this interval? Well, since it goes on forever, it's technically negative infinity. So we'll put a parenthesis on that. What's the right-hand side of this interval? Well, that's 2. And because we include it, we're going to put a bracket on that one. Okay. So that's what this looks like in interval notation. So with number 2, here we have an inequality of negative 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. So if we were to shade this in, we would shade in between 3 and 1, and we would include 3, and we would include 1. So we ask, what is the leftmost number in this interval? That's negative 3. What's the rightmost interval number? That would be 1. And we include both of them, so therefore we put a bracket on our interval. So with number 3, it says write the set of negative numbers in interval notation. So what does that look like? Well, all negative numbers are all the numbers that are less than 0. So if we were to shade this on a number line, it would look like this. Now 0 would be open because it's not a negative, nor is it a positive, so we're not including it. So as an interval, we write this as parentheses, negative infinity, comma, 0. Now 0 is not included because it has an open circle, so we put a parentheses around that one. Now with number 4, now we're going to turn it around and write it the other way, where we're going to write this as an inequality. But we're still going to use our number line as a guide for us. So bracket negative 3, 3 means we put negative 3 here and positive 3 right here. And so we shade in between these two numbers. Now because of the brackets, we include negative 3 and we include positive 3. So what is this as an inequality? Well, x can be, so negative 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 3. So anytime we're shading in between two numbers, x is going to be sandwiched between those two numbers, whatever they may be. Number 5, here we want to write this from negative 1 to 3 as an inequality. But now, negative 1 has a bracket on it, whereas 3 has a parentheses on it. So we put a closed circle around negative 1 and an open circle around 3, and we shade between them. So it's going to be negative 1 less than or equal to x, but x is less than 3. X can't be equal to 3 because we have an open circle there. Number 6, we want to write all the numbers between negative infinity and 5. So negative infinity is off the left-hand side. So from 5, we're going to shade off to the left, and we're going to put an open circle on 5. So this means we're talking about all the numbers that are less than 5. So we'll say x is less than 5. And then for our last one, we go from negative 2 to positive infinity. So we're shading off this way, because this is where positive infinity is, off this side. Now negative 2 is included, so that means we're going to put that as a closed circle. So we're talking about all the numbers that are greater than or equal to negative 2. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have suggestions or problems you want to see worked out, type a comment below. To support the channel, click the Patreon link to help keep this going. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the best way to understand something is to do it.